Ready?
We're gonna assume that the cameras are always on. Adam Elias.
Yes, Vayne, how are you?
That's your name.
That's my name.
So talk to me about the beginning, like before, like what got you into, was it DJing, was it producing, like how did it all start?
I'll be honest, I really don't know. I always just loved music, and one thing led to another, you know. I always tell people, they ask for my story, but I say it's like a fairy tale story. You know, it started out with a dream, a vision, and it went from one thing to the next, you know, by just meeting people, different opportunities, taking gambles with different opportunities, and, you know, one thing led to the next for me. And here I am as an artist, which I never really intended to be until I sang Who Drinking Rum, and yourself came to Barbados and, you know, kind of encouraged me to take it a little more serious. And that's where the whole King Bubba the artist thing really blew up, you know.
Before that, before who Drinking Rum, take me back to engineering school, and what made you go there, and what made you decide to even take that leap to do that?
What made me do that was that, you know, I was DJing at the time. I started off DJing at Mix 96 once a week on the radio, house parties with Rebel, and then I was offered a job at the
Boatyard.
Rebel
is
my cousin.
Your cousin. There we go.
Boatyard, you know, saw interest in me with something called Yard Fest.
Yeah.
Back in the day, me and Phil Archer, he was the MC, I was the DJ. Did that for a while, then Club Extreme came about.
Wait, Phil? He used to talk on the mic?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
Phil.
So I was probably like 16 or 17 around that time. You know, started to work in the Boatyard, mash up the Boatyard and different things like that. Club Extreme came around. I was working there, you know, and I had my own little studio for recording dub plates and jingles and, you know, just stuff that I would have needed to make my sets better, you know.
Yeah.
I just had a little studio set up for the sole purpose of doing stuff for my DJing career.
Right.
Different DJs would bring the artists to the studio when they came here for reggae shows and so forth. And that's how I started to make lots of links with dancehall artists and stuff like that. And then I brought Beanie Man for my birthday party. That's how I met him. We did a show together in St. Vincent the following year.
Hey.
That's where I met Skinny and Kobayashi.
Hey.
After DJing, Kobayashi said to me, "You have a great voice. You know, I really think that if you were to sing soca, that you could be one of the biggest soca artists in the Caribbean one day."
Yeah.
And I laughed at this guy, you know, because I didn't really think about singing. I said, "I'm just a DJ.
Yeah.
I don't sing." You know, he said, "Well, I want to bring you back to the studio and maybe I could get you on a song with Skinny or whatever." So I was like, cool. I left Vincy. A few days later, I got the ticket, told my dad and my mom, "Oh, someone sent me a flight to St. Vincent to come and record music." And you know, they were like, "Record music? You don't sing? You don't know nothing about singing?" And all that.
Yeah.
I said, "Well, you know, I got this opportunity and I'm going to take it." That was the first time I saw a song recorded and built in front of my eyes. And
this is Kobayashi?
yeah, in his studio in St. Vincent.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I seen a song created and kind of how it was done. And it started to give me like that want to learn it.
I didn't know that.
You know?
Shout out to Kobayashi.
Kobayashi, Vincy Crew, Skinny Fabulous, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how the whole feel to make music came about, wanting to be a producer. Because I met him, he was the first producer I met. The following year, I did a song with Big Red and Gorg, called Walking Up Stink, you know, just for fun. They had Caribbean Wet Fat. I went out there, took my shirt off, started to wind up on the stage. You know, end up in the middle of the newspaper, end up on the CBC News, you know. Everyone enjoyed it, and that's when I started to just produce. I didn't really want to sing. I just did it for fun. Wanted to hear my voice on the radio or one of my songs play, and it just went uphill from there. You know, working on more projects, and it was difficult because I didn't really know anything about the programs. I was just teaching myself as I went along, and I met a guy called EQ. He was here. He lives like his aunt lives like 2 houses down from Foreigner Frank, a friend of mine that I work with closely, and you know, Frank brought him to the studio.
Frank.
Yeah, Uncle Frank, big up.
Yes.
Frank brought him to the studio. He saw what I was doing. He said, man, you're pretty good, you know, but you should really learn this thing if you want to do it. I just graduated from Full Sail University, you know, doing engineering and stuff. He told me about the school. You know, I started to look into it and try to find ways to get there. And I ended up doing the course, coming back, doing my own studio. You know, my dad opened up Slam. I worked with him closely. And, you know, things just kept developing one after the next, you know.
So after you finished Full Sail, you came back to Barbados. What was the...
Well, I spent 2 weeks at Circle House Studio in Miami.
Okay.
Interning, cleaning the studio, and then sitting in on sessions in the evening.
But just that right there. You, King Bubba, who everybody just thinks probably like, oh, you're spoiled and everything is handed to you. You spent time interning, cleaning the studio.
2 weeks.
But still, people don't know that side, and I think that
cleaning the toilets, cleaning the studios, cleaning the kitchen, cleaning the equipment.
Yeah.
You know, just to get that chance. When I was there, Flo Rida was there recording.
Right.
Neo was mixing his album. I mean, DJ Khaled used to pass through there. I never saw him, but I know all the big guns work out of that studio.
Right.
It's owned by Inner Circle, the guys that sing Bad Boys, Roger Lewis and them. Andrew Denny hooked me up with them because he did some work at their studio. And you know, I just kept feeling the need to do my own thing. You know, obviously there's more opportunities in the US. But when my dad told me that he got through with the radio license, it made me want to come home and start up my own thing and also work with the radio station.
So you said your dad got through. So this is something that you all wanted to do for a long time, or?
Yeah. My dad always wanted to do the radio station, but he couldn't get the radio license, so I guess that's how the nightclub came around.
And the nightclub was called?
Club Extreme. Craziness. That's all I can say. That's a part of my life I'll never forget.
Yeah.
And, you know, when he got through the license, he was tired of the nightlife thing because it's a lot of work, you know.
Yeah.
Especially controlling 1,000 people with alcohol in their head every night, you know. But so eventually we moved to the radio station. I came home, started to work with him and my family, my mom, and you know, I set up my own little studio and was doing the production on the side. You know, just trying to get the platter up and running, along with working on the radio every day. I was working the 3 to 6 shift, your shift, solo,
and it was called
The Energy Drive.
And it's still called
The Energy Drive.
Yeah.
And then Scratch Master joined me for that shift.
Yeah.
Simply Smooth worked it with me for a while.
Well, I know the story too about Scratch and Simply, but how did they? Because Simply is the current program director at Slam. Yeah. And Scratch Master started out as a program director. But how did that even come about? How did you meet them, and why did you decide to bring them in to help start up this?
Because I met them through a fella called Lyndon from Razor Shop Crew in Trinidad. He's a producer, he's a remixer. He was in Extreme at night.
Yeah.
And I was throwing down some crazy remixes. And he came up into the DJ booth like just screaming and running around the place. He asked me to send him the remixes. Back then was MSN Messenger. So the next day I got added by Scratch Master. Right? And he said, oh, I'm friends with Lyndon. He told me about remixes you have.
Yeah.
I would like to trade some of my remixes for your remixes. And you know, we just get into talking. He said he works on Hot 97, St. Vincent. You know, so I decided to listen to him on Saturday. He said I'm on Saturday. I listened to him. I thought he was wicked. So I told my dad, we gotta bring this man to play in the club.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was only him on air at the time. But it was him talking, Smooth was playing, but I didn't know it was Smooth playing. So we brought him in, he mashed the club up.
Simply Smooth.
No, Scratch.
Right.
He came the first time, but Smooth came with him.
Right.
But Smooth didn't play.
Okay.
And at the end of the night, I said, boy, you mash it up. And I was saying something, and he said, well, you know, it wasn't really me that was DJing. It was Simply Smooth.
Nice.
So I eventually brought both of them back up, and that's how that friendship started. And obviously, Slam came about to be something different for radio in Barbados.
Yeah. From
what we had before. Different types of music, that what was being offered, just a different flavor. And I thought that what they were doing in St. Vincent would work perfectly here. Right? So I made it priority to have them and their vision to be put into Slam 101 when it was launched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mainstream, pop, hip hop, soca,
everything,
dancehall,
everything,
with a format and not just wild. You know, like you always know what's coming.
Right.
In a way, you know, you get a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Kind of similar to the style we used to play in Club Extreme. A bit of everything for everybody.
Right.
You know, like no 1 hour of dancehall or no 1 hour of soca, but a formatted radio station with different varieties of music. Because at that time, Barbados was only really playing heavy dancehall, heavy hip hop, and soca was only really playing around, let's say, the season. You know. So 2010, when we came on board, we brought something new to the table, and they were the ones that I thought had to be involved for it to happen. Because obviously, no disrespect to who is in the business here, but obviously their vision would be what they know. But I'm bringing somebody else that is accustomed to doing something else to come and help us bring something new to Barbados, and it's slamming.
And you haven't looked back since.
No.
So where, if you had to pick, because I know you do so many, you wear different hats, where's your heart the most? I know your heart is in music, but if you had to choose, could you choose between producing and DJing or being an artist? Or I know you're a radio personality as well. You're everything. You're I don't want to call your title at Slam, but
okay. It'd be hard to choose, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because for me, once I'm making someone happy with music, it could be broadcasting, telling a joke, making someone's day brighter. It could be on stage performing a song, seeing people jump up. It could be producing a hit for somebody that's already established or somebody that's not established. You know, once it brings joy to the person, I feel good about it. Like, for me, music is not only, I don't do this only to make money or to get famous or popular. Like, that's what I really love to do.
Yeah.
So, for me, being out there is what makes me feel the best. Being on stage, seeing the crowd react, helping somebody with what they're doing, and vice versa, you know.
Right.
The crowd gives me that love, it feels good.
Yeah.
But this is what I love to do, so I do miss radio.
Yeah.
You know, I do miss DJing. But right now, you know, this is the latest chapter in my book.
Yeah.
Which is performing, being an entertainer, being Bubba, just being different. You know? And I'm enjoying it.
Well, you certainly helped me out a lot when I first started, as far as like helping the transition of me going from intern to co-host to then being the head.
Working the shift and having your own show.
Right.
But again, I'm sure your story would be a fairy tale story as well, because how things probably happened for you in your life, in your career, nothing was really ever planned, but you always had it in your mind that this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So you just did what you had to do to get closer and closer to that.
Exactly.
And you helped me a lot, because when you came, I had Who Drinking Rum, mashing up the place, the song with Kerwin and Jackie were.
Yeah.
And you say, Bubba, you know, I think you could be a lot further with this thing. You need to take it more serious. And I was like, really? Because not much people were saying that to me, except for people that were close to me, but here was somebody new. It's just like when I met Scratch and Smooth.
Yeah.
Everybody back home was saying, oh, you ain't really that good, or, you know, whatever the case is. But when I met them, they said, Bubba, you're good, you know, but these are some things you need to work on.
Yeah.
So I was like, really? You really think I'm good? And they took me under their wing and showed me things. So anytime I meet somebody with potential, I always give the same encouragement. And you did that for me as well.
Nice.
As a stranger. You know, I don't know nothing about you or where you came from. But you showed me love and you showed me a way. You know, some people tell you no, but they don't give you a solution.
Right.
But you were like, you could be a lot further than this. You need to do this, you need to do that. Get someone to help you out with this and that. You introduced me to J Dean, J Ventures.
Shout out to J Ventures.
You know, and she became a part of my team.
Yes.
Rhythm Stream.
Yes.
You know, Slam 101. Everybody that plays a part, because I do take advice from a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's where, I think that's what helped me get where I am today, by listening and taking advice, filtering out the nonsense and keeping the good points and, you know, just moving forward and keeping that goal in mind.
Nice. You mentioned before about your parents saying, wait, but you don't sing. So I'm curious to know from then to now, like what do they think about your career, your dad and your mom?
Well, it's just that I never talked about singing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I told them somebody sent me a flight to come and sing a song, it was like, huh?
What?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what got me into the producing. They're really proud parents.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I have a lot further to go in my career, but I feel a great accomplishment knowing that I made my family proud. So to me, that's it. I feel like I've succeeded in life because I've made my loved ones, my mom, my dad, my entire family proud and see me do something good with my life, you know?
Yeah.
So to me, that was like the greatest feeling to see, you know, their support and everything eventually pay off for me, you know? And it was them too that said, you know, this can work for you if you do more songs. Because before I was producing, I was making hits for other artists, but I wasn't really making any money like to make sense with the investment that I was making. I was putting a lot of money into music.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really coming back. I was just getting popular. Other people were making the money. But that 1 year now, Second Star wrote this song and gave to me because I gave him an opportunity to come up here and write for Little Rick, Patrice Roberts. So much work, you know. I got him in that mix of writing. Started to produce for him. His music started to play in Trinidad.
Yeah.
And he was so grateful that he wrote that song, Who Drinking Rum, for me. But I still didn't really want to sing.
Yeah.
Right? So I tried now shopping this song to many big name artists. And all I was getting back was no. Not feeling that. Too simple. It may not work. Rum this, rum that.
And now who's the rum king?
Me. So, you know, through that experience, I ended up singing the song.
Yeah.
Because my wife, Louise, told me, what's going on with the song? And I said, nobody want to sing it. She said, you better sing it because that's a hit.
Yeah,
know?
nice.
I said, but I don't really know how to sing. You know?
Yeah.
But as a producer, I know what's in key, what's out of key. I listen to the demo over and over until I kind of learned it in my head. And I went to the studio and I put it down.
What year was that?
2014.
Nice.
And when I played back the song, you could ask for it in a frame. I started to scream out in the studio, listening back to the song, running around the studio. He said, Adam, what's wrong with you? I said, I know. I just was running around real hype. He said, it's just a song, man. I said, nah, boy, that's different, you know?
Yeah.
So I was really excited, put the song out. Started to get 1 or 2 gigs. But the challenge at that time was, it's hard to bring in for just one song. You know, it's a lot of money for the plane, the hotel. You know, so a lot of promoters didn't really want to bring you at the time because you only have one song.
Yeah.
But some promoters did. You know, we went to Toronto. My first show on the road was Toronto with Dr. J. You know, he gave me my first international show. And then we went to Martinique to do a show. And you know, that's when my mom looked at me and said, you know, I think this can work, but you need more songs.
Yeah.
And that was just around the same time you was encouraging me. Went in the studio, we built mashup whole night, the Rum King, the Tequila, all those songs came out that year. Next year we had Callin' Sick, Unstoppable, Rum Again. This year we have Drunk Day, Bubbling, you know, Welcome Home. Just a few of the songs this year. And you know, it just spiraled from there.
That honestly just gave me goosebumps because I didn't realize I moved to Barbados in 2014.
Right.
So it wasn't like the Who Drinking Rum wasn't something I ever heard or anything. So this came out at the same time I moved to Barbados.
Yeah, because
so
it was for that crop over.
That's so crazy.
When you came was during crop over or after?
Right.
Was it?
I moved here in April 2014.
Right, so that was that year's music.
Right.
Right, and you know, a lot of people encouraged me, and then the hits just came one after the next.
Wow.
But I was still accustomed to bringing hits like that with other artists, you know, like going in the studio with Kerwin, throwing up a beat, giving some ideas. He writing Monster Wine, taking it up by Lil Rick, giving my 2 cents here and there with a few lines. And then we have this magic song.
Right.
Up to today, you know, I was driving in Florida the other day, and on 99.1, a mainstream station, I heard them playing Monster Wine.
Right.
So I was like, wow, you know, and then Kerwin emails me, for permission to air the song in the Philippines. Like people are still gravitating towards the song outside of the soca market, like in Russia, Germany. Like we seeing iTunes sales from some weird places for this song. So the song is still growing up to today.
And We Want Drinks came out
2012.
Oh, okay,
that was just me saying I want to write a song, right? I want to write a song, and I wrote the chorus. I couldn't get anyone again to sing it. That was the year I did Work for Lil Rick. It was my first hit out the platter.
Nice.
Right on the Rich Boy rhythm.
Right.
We shelved the We Want Drinks, and the next year I was still working on it. Rick heard it and he jumped on it. We finished the song. And it just so happened I was like the fat man scoop of that record.
Right.
Tell me what you want.
Yes.
Right? So I wouldn't really consider that singing at the time.
Yeah.
But that was the first big song that I did with my voice on it. You know? But it's really from 2015, from the vibe from Who Drinking Rum that really made this thing explode.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
So as I say, it's like a fairy tale story because things just happen.
Right.
And most of the hits I made just happened. The same thing with Monster Wayne is like I didn't know Kerwin. I had the beat in my computer. He just showed up at the platter.
Yeah.
Because he was with someone and he said, "Oh look, that's Bubba's studio," and he said, "Pull in." They ring the bell. I open. I see Kerwin Dubois. He said, "Hey, I'm Kerwin Dubois." I said, "I know." He said, "Well, I always wanted to meet you, Bubba Plata. You know, I like your rhythms."
Yeah.
He came inside. He said, "You have anything in there, boy? You hiding anything?" And I played the beat, and that was how Monster Wayne came around. You know, the same song with Jack Ure. I met Jack Ure because somebody called me and said they needed to use his studio to record something with some artist. They didn't say who it was. So I sent someone else down because I couldn't make it. And the person called me. I said, "Yo, is Jack Ure in the studio?" I said, "Really?" So I said, "I'm going to go meet Jack Ure." When I got there, I say, "Hey Jack, you're Bubba, the owner of the studio. Nice to have you here," whatever the case is. And I gave him a little present. And he called me outside. And he said, "I should have met you 6 years ago."
Yes.
And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Because he never got a present like this before." And that's how we became friends. He said he's going to... He said he's going to Barcelona. But when he comes back through Barbados, he wants me to pick him up. To hang out by the studio again.
Yeah.
And when we got to the studio, when he came back, he looked at me and said, "Bubba, why didn't you tell me you produced Monster Wine, man?" I say, "I don't know." He said, "I look at you different now. Let's do a song."
Yeah.
You know, and I started to throw up this little beat I had. He started to sing on it. We never finished the song. He just put on a few parts. And then he said, "You know, I really want to do a song with Kerwin Dubois." Right? So I called Dubois on the phone. I said, "Yo, I have Jack Ure here. He wants to do a record with you. He loves Monster Wayne."
Yeah.
And Kerwin's like, "For real? I always wanted to work with him, you know, because I'm the soca Jack Ure. You know, I'm this sweet singing soca Jack Ure, you know." And he just made some jokes. I put them on the phone. And we decided, you hear what? We're going to send you what we started to record already. So we had to turn it up loud. And then he came in, "Hey, don't you touch that music." Right? So we had that on the same beat. We sent it over to Kerwin. He did his magic. He sent us back the song maybe a few days later with a nice structure with his parts. And he's like, "For the hell of it, throw Lil Rick on it too." You know, and that's how that song came about. Not planned. You know what I mean? Same thing. Who Drinking Rum wasn't planned. Mashup wasn't planned. I was building the beat. Second Star was right into it. I didn't like the song he was writing. And I stood up and I said to him, "Man, that song sound good, right? But I want a song that anytime I touch down, the whole place mash up."
Yes.
And I just said it to him like that. And then he replied with, "When I touch down, play something mash up."
Nice.
And that's how that song started to come around. So it's like,
a vibe.
it's just a vibe. But a vibe been following me for a long time. And you know, I always trust my instincts. When I feel a vibe, I just go with it. Give it a shot. Because you never know unless you try.
Right.
You know?
Well, I like it. I love the fact that we had this conversation, or having this conversation, because usually when you come on air, it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But I like the fact that we could take it back just a little bit. So people
And
can
I do appreciate it as well.
Yeah.
Back to what you said earlier, when you said, "Oh, people think that Bubba had it easy."
Right.
Or, you know, talent is the key, the main ingredient. You can have all the resources in the world, but if you don't know what you're doing, you just have a room full of equipment. But people don't see, like, my grandfather, he came from Lebanon. When he left Lebanon, he had zero. You know, he wasn't born with money or anything. So he migrated from Lebanon, went to Trinidad, sold things by hand, came to Barbados, did the same thing. You know, and he worked hard to provide an avenue for his kids, which being my father and my aunts and uncles, to give them, raise them in a way that, with things that he didn't have. And obviously my father now carried on the legacy. You know what I mean? So it started with zero, but now it's something. So the way I was brought up is that I have a big responsibility, you know, to fulfill. Because I can't do less than what my father did or my granddad did. I can't spoil that, you know what I mean? I gotta work hard, do what I'm doing, carry forward the legacy, take care of my family, my sisters, make sure everybody's good. So I do have a big role to play, you know, but obviously people wouldn't know where you come from and the struggles that certain people in your family went through. So for me, no one believed in me but my parents. So they helped me with the resources to do what I had to do. But if I wasn't good, you know, I wouldn't have made a hit. Or people wouldn't have liked Bubba.
Or continue to make it.
Yeah, continue and travel out there and get so much love everywhere I go. You know, it's a blessing, and I thank, you know, the Almighty every day. And I listened to all the callings I got, and I did what, you know, my heart always told me to do, and it never led me the wrong way.
Yeah. So what's next for you, or what do you feel your next step is? Because I know you say it's energy, it's a vibe, so similar to me, where you just kind of go with what you're feeling. Kind of, yeah. But do you have a plan, like, or do you have something in your mind, like in 5 years I want X, or?
Well, I don't know about 5 years. Maybe in 5 years I would like to sell out an arena in the US. People fly all over the world to come and see my show. But right now, you know, going from traveling 2 years on the road, freestyling with my DJ Simply Smooth live in a club, or playing with a different backing band. I just did my first show in Grenada with my own band. That was nuts, right? Major levels up. You know, we did Illuminate Barbados, first time with the band. We just did Grenada, Extreme White. As soon as we came off the stage, we got another booking for Grenada, same promoter, October, right? Big up Wayne Green Promotions. And then of course, now, through people hearing how good the band was, they want us in Turks and Caicos. So now, lots of people have seen the King Bubba performance, but now everybody needs to see it with the band now. So it's just, that's where I'm at. Trying to raise the levels, presentation-wise, delivery. You know, people could actually feel your music when you have a band. You give them a show. So right now, not only people might want to see you for your new songs, but they haven't seen, New York hasn't seen King Bubba and the FM band. Miami hasn't seen it. So that's things we're putting into place now, and people want to see.
So tell us something about Bubba. King, is it, first of all, I say King, is it King Bubba FM, or is it King Bubba, or is it Bubba, or is it Adam? I'm confused.
It's whatever makes you happy.
Yes. No, what is it officially?
King Bubba FM.
King Bubba FM. So I'm
how I got the FM was,
please tell me.
When Slam was starting up.
Yes.
We were only on automation.
Okay.
And obviously a lot of people knew that I was involved with the station. And when we went on air at first for like a week with just playing music. And people were commenting on my Facebook, and somebody wrote, King Bubba FM is sounding sweet. Meaning that my radio station sounds good. And I just kept it.
Nice. King Bubba FM.
And then we turned it into Forward Movement, so it's sounding positive now. But that's
always
where it
positive.
came from.
You always gotta keep it positive.
It's FM, as in radio.
Nice. So tell us something about Bubba that people wouldn't just know about you.
Really?
Dig deeper. Dig deeper. Tell us something else.
I'm a very miserable person.
Is that true?
Sometimes.
Yeah? Nobody would believe that, because you seem very happy. You're the rum king. The rum king can't be miserable. Drink some rum. Yeah?
I love animals. I love taking care of dogs. You know, I wanted to be a policeman. I wanted to be a chef one time.
Yeah. Can you cook?
Not really. I can flip burgers. But that's it, you know. For me, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
To be honest, you know, I get a little cranky at times, but that's Adam. That's not Bubba. You know, Bubba is always fun.
Yes.
And ready to go.
Yeah.
You know.
And Adam is just so
Adam
is the.
That's a different interview.
Adam is the thorn in my side.
Yes.
Okay. That's Adam. So
he's
Bubba,
the one that gives you trouble.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Adam, aka King Bubba, aka King Bubba FM,
aka King Bubba Mashup, whole place mashup.
And what else? Calling in sick.
Yeah, I'm still calling in sick to jobs I don't like.
Because it's a drunk day today.
Drunk day today.
That's what we doing.
Bubba Lane. Big up to all the people in New York and Boston, Bermuda right now. Just bubbling like crazy.
So what's for the rest of the year? What's up? What you got going on for the rest of this year?
Well, just more shows, more performances, going out there, carrying the vibes, spreading the vibes.
Labor Day.
Labor Day. I'm actually going to Calgary this weekend.
Okay.
Me and Corinne Dubois have a show there. Then next weekend is Labor Day weekend.
Right.
After that, I'm shutting off. Me and the wife going on set sail.
Nice.
On the Royal Caribbean again.
Okay.
It's our vacation time.
You don't have to say where you're going.
So everybody knows at the end of September.
That's it.
Don't look for me.
All right.
Then when we're done, Miami Carnival, Uber Soca. There's a show in New Jersey as well, but that's a charity. So you know we always doing things to give back as well.
Right.
The fete in New Jersey is a charity fete. And they usually donate a lot of stuff to the hospital in Barbados and stuff like that. You know, I was recommended by Red Plastic Bag for that. And so New Jersey, I'm coming as well.
Nice. So where can I get, like, if I want, I know you have hats and shirts and things, like.
But right now the Team Soca site has the Calling In Sick shirts.
Okay.
Which are still selling a lot. People just love the Calling In Sick shirts.
Yeah.
But right now I'm trying to set up my own merchandising kind of shop on my website.
Nice.
It's a bit difficult because I want to find a way that I could ship to the US, ship to Canada, not only around the West Indies, you know. So I'm just trying to make a few links to get my own merchandise shop set up where you could get the King Bubba mashup, you could get the Rum King, all your favorite songs and taglines in the shirts, the hats, the key rings, Who Drinking Rum bottle openers. So I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Cool.
Lots of things to be done, but piece by piece, we'll get there.
Well, King Bubba FM, thank you.
No, thank you.
I don't like Adam.
Adam loves you.
Adam is the thorn in my side. No, I love Adam, and of course I love King Bubba.
And I hope you guys enjoyed my interview here today. And there's still someone you haven't met yet. Another part of me.
No, thank you.
Crazy Paul.
No, thank you.
But Crazy Paul won't.
I'm not interested in meeting Crazy Paul. Okay.
Yo, this is King Bubba FM, representative for Vayne's World, Slam TV. Keep it locked. Don't change it. Don't move. You mad? What place mash up? Drunk there today.
Hey.
Drunk there today.
Yes, it's Vayne, and of course you just finished watching Vayne's World. Thank you so much. But you know what you should do before you go to another video is make sure you subscribe to this channel right here. We're amazing. We won't let you down. It's all about Slam TV. And also comment, like the video as well, and follow us on social media. Why not? You're already on YouTube. You might as well go to Instagram and Facebook at Slam101FM, and of course our website www.slam101fm.com. And me, yes, of course, you can follow me at I'm So Vayne. That's at IMSOVAYNE. I'm everywhere on Facebook, on Instagram as well. Vayne TV on YouTube, and my website www.imsovayne.com.